This is mission 2 of the secret mission episode here called Lost Dominion, the 2800. And it's called Of Bajor.
We've evacuated everyone we could to Bajor, and we're setting up a base there to coordinate our counterattack against the Dominion. I won't lie to you, though. It's not gonna be easy. We were caught completely off guard by Karakan and his fleet, and the Bajorans are none too pleased to have house guests. We must balance the needs of the civilian populace with those of the Starfleet and Klingon forces currently on the surface. Starfleet needs all the help it can get planet-side right now. Transport down to our staging area on Bajor. You'll find me there. Captain Kurland will join us as soon as he can.
Sure thing, bald lady. Let's go. Oh, she's not bald. She's just got short hair. Sorry. Okay. So I did a little bit of this mission in a previous video, just because this Bajor section is kind of a hub kind of a thing. So I'll skip a couple of those and go from there. Welcome to the city of Hathorn. First, Yak Tax. Welcome to the city of Hathorn. First. That's me. My rank is first. And Yak Tax is my character's name. Commander Messi Achibi asked me to inform her when you arrived. She's waiting for you in her office at the Starfleet base. I'll add the coordinates to your map. Excellent. Let's go. So what happened is when they added part of the story, they kind of got rearranged, and so it didn't work out the same. So what they did is they sliced up this mission and another one, and so earlier when I was over here in the temple, that was actually part of this mission, where you go into the temple and you talk to the prophets and all that kind of stuff, which is why you'll see this is actually a player character right here. He's actually doing that mission right now. So it's kind of like the whole thing's mixed in. But where I'm going specifically is over here, which I went to in the previous video, but you can't do anything because I didn't have this mission active. So yeah, basically it's just the Bajorans are wary. Ooh, that's a big tree. The Bajorans are wary of people taking over again, because they had to suffer the Cardassian occupation from the Deep Space Nine show. They don't actually have the occupation in that, but they talk about it, and it's a big deal in there. So all of the people being here for an emergency, they're kind of like, oh, it's an official military thing, you know, and so they're worried about that. And that's kind of the story you get by talking to everybody around, which if you watch my video that was from the Cardassian storyline episodes, you'll see that too. And that's just previous.
Time is short.
Apparently not short enough to have a voice actor do this. Alright, let's see. Welcome to Bajor. This will serve as our base of operations while we work to retake DS9. I'll need you to give me your best here. Everyone needs to be in top shape for the counterattack on DS9. But before that can happen, we need to make sure that this base is fully operational. We're guests here on Bajor, but the locals don't view us that way. I thought that Bajor joining the Federation would be a step in the right direction, but the Bajorans in the city seem to think that this is a second coming of the Cardassian occupation, which is what I said earlier. Be on your best behavior and try to do all you can to smooth some of the ruffled feathers. A civilian uprising is a headache I don't need. I'll have something for you later. Report to Lieutenant Jurel Kav first. She'll let you know what tasks are most critical. You got it. So that's one of the other things about this, is that because it's older, the story is older, it's before the game had a lot of funding. The Cryptic Studio had a lot of funding for voice actors and stuff like that. They actually only had a handful of actual show actors to start with. Now it seems like every time they come out with something, they've got enough money to hire all the professional actors and get the Screen Actors Guild actors in there. So it's really cool. But I really like these stories. So it's like storytelling versus quality. You know.
How can I help you?
See, she doesn't even say anything. Great to see you. This is her talking. Great to see you. We can use all the help we can get here. The attack on DS9 has put everything here into a tailspin. We're setting up a base to coordinate the campaign to take the station back, but it's slow going. This area of the city is older and doesn't have the infrastructure we need. Good thing we have talented officers like you who know how to whip up a few technical marvels. You betcha.
Do you need something?
Oh, am I doing... Oh, I gotta do... missions? Aggressive assimilation. There's a lot of hostility from the population, and unfortunately some of our Klingon guests have been responding in kind. We don't need trouble, but I don't want to get the militia involved. This should be something we can handle on our own. Could you go out and calm a few of these hot heads down? So I'm stopping fights between Klingons and Bajorans. Oh, there's a couple areas that they're button heads, so I'm sure I'm going over there to fix that. So I can either do that mission, or I can do this mission. We've cobbled together a base here faster than I expected, but we had to use whatever equipment was on hand. Starfleet is sending supply ships out, but that will take time. Until then, we have to do the best we can. A lot of this equipment is old or outdated, and we're experiencing a significant number of malfunctions. What I could really use is an engineer who's handy with a hyperspanner to make repairs, which I think is a wrench, but they use the fancy version of the name just for the heck of it. Think you're up to the task? Question mark. I think I'm going to do the other one. Maybe. Yeah, that one looks like it'll be more exciting.
I'm here to help.
Sounds good. I'm going to get the other one too.
I'm here to help.
Just because. But I'll do the one where everybody's trying to be nice to each other first. Alright, which one is this? Required. 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 Okay, so that's the prime one. Okay, and then these ones, yeah, this is where I was before. So that's one of the things about these old missions. That's part of the reason why I think that they decided not to renovate them as much. Because it just makes it a little bit extra difficult to get everything going. So, alright, I'm going to go over here, and it'll activate the other mission once I get there. But yeah, this looks really cool. I noticed when I was running around earlier, this is kind of like, this area, these buildings are kind of like a mix between Mos Eisley from Star Wars and also Naboo from Star Wars, with the stone buildings and that kind of stuff. It must be something that they do to show an older structure, older civilization kind of a thing. Beat up old buildings and stuff like that. Blocks and stones and stuff. Anyway. Petak. You don't get to order me to calm down. I'm a Klingon warrior, not some craven Ferengi. Let's see. Consequences for harming Bajorans? What the heck? Consequences for John Harmon Bajorans. Commanding officer asked me to step in and stop this. You bring dishonor to the Empire. I'm gonna do that. Did it work? Fine, I'll let it go for now. But these Bajorans need to show us some respect. Okay, I'm gonna do another one. There's glory to be had elsewhere. Fine. I'll let it go for now, but these Bajorans will just show us such and such. Alright, transport out of here, you punk. I'll move the same one on each one. You need to cool off. Report to the brig. You bring dishonor to the Empire. Alright, I think it's letting me do the same thing. Is it working? Yes. Okay, so that one worked. Oh, he says the same thing as before. Got my Borgified guy here. All those pipes and wires and lasers. Stand down. I'm a Klingon warrior. I will not be penned like an animal. Tell this weakling to step aside, or I'll cut his legs out from under him. I'm gonna try one of these other ones. There will be consequences. Oh, come on. You dishonor the Empire with your actions. I wonder if I can punch one of these guys. If I... There we go. Consequences for harming the Bajorians. What does he say? You have no right to order me, Starfleet. Find... Where'd it go? Ah, gosh darn it. Oh, did that not work? You need some time to cool off. Report to the brig. Ooh. Somebody wants to fight. That's right, you got nothing, punk. Look at all those knives just sitting there. Oh, what the heck is up with his face? Is that what she looks like? Must be a shadow issue. There will be consequences. You have no right to give me orders. Find a Klingon to tell me that. Oh, okay. I bet you if I was a Klingon officer, I could do that. Or if I was on the Klingon side. I'll just tell her she's on dishonoring the Empire. Alright, that was that one. I'll go get the other one. Here, this one's inside something. I think it's cool that this is a social zone, and it's part of a mission, too. That was something I really liked. Ah. Of course they'd be fighting in the bar. Hilarious. What's going on here? Klingon officers aren't bad, sir, but their crews. This bunch has been here every day causing trouble. They're driving my regular customers away. One of my service has already quit. I asked Colonel Kubis to stop by, but he's so busy. Please, is there anything you can do to make them settle down? Be careful. Some of them look like they want to fight. Alright, let's sit down another one of these arguments. Right. Bah! I go where I want, drink what I want, and say what I please. This synthahale is swill unfit for a targ. Tell this pitah to get me a drink fit for a warrior, and maybe he'll live to see tomorrow. I'm going to tell him the... There we go. All KDF personnel have been ordered away from public spaces. Alright. You need to be fighting the Jem'Hadar, not the Bajorans. Which is funny, because my character is a Jem'Hadar. Hilarious. Whoa! That worked. Okay. So I'm guessing I am reporting back to the other lady. Yes. Just around this corner here. And she'll give me the next section of the story. Wonderful. I'm more than happy to have help from anyone who is willing to lend a hand. But anyone stirring up trouble with the locals is just creating more problems. I'm glad you are here to sort it out.
I'm here to help.
Why are we in an area that wasn't upgraded? This is what the Bajorans offered us. The capital city has limited space, and other regional centers are mountainous regions that might have prevented us from bringing down as many shuttles and other large pieces of equipment that we need. Hathorn is a mostly agricultural area. The tech is a little out of date, but there's lots of wide open spaces and a steady supply of foodstuffs. Also, there has been some population drift from this area into the cities, so there's some buildings that we could repurpose without displacing any of the current residents. Well, that's good. What do you do? Commander Achibi has assigned me to make Starfleet systems compatible with the existing Bajoran one. And it's not easy. We've been slowly upgrading all of the computer networks on the planet since Bajor joined the Federation, but with the war, it has been a lower priority project. Work in mostly rural areas like Hawthorne hasn't been completed yet. Now we're going to have to scramble to get the work done as quickly as possible. Yeah, you will. Alright, let's talk to this lady. What do you got for me?
I'm here to help.
Let's do... Oh, another one with choices. Interesting. We have several holodeck training programs developed for the Advanced Tactical Training Program as an introduction to ground combat against Dominion opponents. This one will pit you against a changeling. Ooh, it's unclear whether there is a changeling with the Dominion forces on DS9, but it's always always a good idea to be prepared. You can use the holodeck here to run the program. And remember, we have a lot that needs to be done here on Bajor, so choose the combat training program that suits your needs the best. Don't spend all day in the holodeck. Hilarious. This is another one where I get to choose both.
I'm here to help.
And then soldiers. We have several holodeck training programs developed for advanced tactical training programs as an introduction to ground combat against Dominion opponents. This one will pit you against Jem'Hadar. I know you were in the battle on DS9, but it's always good to be prepared. You can use the holodeck here to run the program, and remember, blah blah blah, don't spend it all day. Okay.
I'm here to help.
Did I do this yet? I don't know. I'm just glad to be here to help out. It was at DS9 waiting for the USS Tempest. I was at DS9 waiting for the USS Tempest when the Jem'Hadar attacked. I evac'd with the station staff, and instead of sitting on my hands waiting for a rescue, I volunteered to help with operations here. That's what I do. Operations isn't the most glamorous situation on a starship, but I help ensure that everything that needs to be done gets done so that the captain and the rest of the senior officers can concentrate on the bigger issues. And there's a lot of issues here. Sounds good. Oh, I'm a betazoid, so I can sense all the unrest here. Ooh. Oh, that's right, she does have black eyes. Crazy. The DS9 crew are mourning their losses, and uncertain of what to do next. Captain Kurland has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and there are a lot of Bajorans who just wish we'd pack up and go home. But that's what we're here to do, right? No one's leaving until we can take back DS9.
I'm here to help.
Alright, let's do Jem'Hadar soldiers.
I'm here to help.
Yes, you are. Ooh, somebody talk to. Talk to holodeck technician. How can I help you? What do you do? Wow, there's a lot of lines on here. That must be why they didn't hire somebody to do it. My job here is to keep this holodeck running. The technology part is simple, but then I started working with Commander Achibi to program combat training scenarios. She's demanding, but I like working for an officer who knows what she wants. If these programs can help just one person get ready to fight the Jem'Hadar and retake DS9, all the work has been worth it. The more we prepare, the more lives we'll save. That's true. Oop. Try again. And then I'll say, what can I do here? We have 2 combat simulations against Dominion opponents that might interest you. One deals with waves of Jem'Hadar opponents. The other involves a changeling. To start a combat simulation, enter the holodeck. Okay. Load training simulation. Jem'Hadar. Sweet. Jem'Hadar versus Jem'Hadar. Let's kick their butts. Oh man, now this one's taking forever. Darn it. Oh, sweet. Alright. Let's get it on. Wow, this is wait, what is this? What ship is this? This is awesome. Oh, where are they? There they are. Alright, punks. Bring it on. Worked. It was also really quick. Okay, ending simulation. That was easy. I bet you'd feel like you could take on the entire Dominion right now. Ha! Holodeck exercises aren't like real combat, but anything that will help us prepare is important.
I'm here to help.
Alright, you want to do another one? Okay, we're doing another one. Scrutinizing starships. We have several holodeck training programs developed for the Advanced Tactical Training Program as an introduction to space combat against Dominion opponents. This one will pit you against large Jem'Hadar ships, from cruisers to a dreadnought. I know you were in the Battle of CS9, but you're going to be facing more Jem'Hadar before we retake the station, and you'll need to be ready for them. You can use the holodeck here to run the program. As a reminder... Oh, okay, same thing. Don't spend all day in the holodeck. Alright, so there's two things.
I'm here to help.
Starships are fleet. This one is small Jem'Hadar ships, from fighters to cruisers. Oh, it's the same thing. Remember, don't spend all day in the holodeck.
I'm here to help.
Let me do the big one.
I'm here to help.
Let's do big ones. And just in case you were wondering, she's here. She's there to help. Alright, I need to save my loadout so it doesn't reset when I load it. And here we go. So I'm guessing this is going to be space around DS9. Wonder if I'll actually have to fight DS9 itself. Yeah. I wish they had kept going with all the series. I mean, if they had just spun off each group into its own unit, they could have just... It's basically a license to print money with all the different shows, because you've got Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, Next Generation, and there was plenty they could do, you know. Tons of people liked watching the shows. Just, they could have constantly been making stuff. Lower the quality a little bit, you know. Just get her done. Have this ship on the main character, the one that I'm fighting against, the heavy escort. It's pretty cool. It's got a space for a bay as well, hangar bay. Give it to him. Choppy. What the heck? I wonder if that's coming through on the video. You know, I remember that this level was always choppy. I wonder if it's these ships, these dreadnoughts, mess with the system or something. They're too big, or they're programmed weird. Something. Nailed it. Alright, let's get out of here. This mission loads quick, dang. Excellent. Someday I might switch to the command track and try to become a ship commander myself. Until then, the holodeck is enough for me. There you go.
I'm here. Do you need something?
Thanks to you, we have everything under control here at the base. You should head out to the city to help the Bajorans. Colonel Kubis Poe of the militia has been asking for assistance. Find him and he should be able to point you in the right direction. We couldn't have done this without you. Thank you.
I'm here to help.
Thank you for being there to help. Alright, let's find this guy. Where he at? Oh, he's in here. Wait. No? Where is he? Oh, he's around the outside. Running, running, running. Alright, Colonel Kubis.
We have a situation here.
Talk to me. Welcome to Bajor. I wish your visit could be under better circumstances. This whole DS9 situation troubles me, and having Starfleet here on Bajor has opened up some old wounds. And letting the Klingons come down too? That's just like dropping a plasma torch in a deuterium tank. Ha! What we need to do now is to convince people that they're safe and that we have the situation under control. Yes, we do. Oh, let me guess. Another choice here. Get a mission from Colonel Kubis. Well, let me ask him some stuff. What's your
Back
role
in
here
my
in
day,
Bajor?
things were different.
Now that Bajor is part of the Federation, my job is to keep the peace here. It's harder with the Federation, or with Starfleet and the KDF planet side. There are still Bajorans who remember the occupation. I grew up in a refugee camp, and I have friends and family who don't like the idea of any outside organization establishing a base on Bajor, friend or foe. The Federation respects that. For the most part, Kurland has kept his people on DS9. That's fine with me. The militia is more than willing to leave anything that happens off-world to Starfleet. But now you're here in my city. That means you're my problem. Great. How about this? Why are people upset by our effort?
Peace and quiet. That's what we need.
Our world has changed more in the last 50 years than it did in the 500 years before it. The end of the occupation, the return of the emissary, the Dominion War, joining the Federation, the Undine, the war with the Klingons, Bajor is a different planet now. Some would say it has changed too much. Religious requirements. Okay. We need to find a way to soothe people here in the city. They're so wrapped up in suspicion and mistrust that they're not thinking clearly. The conspiracy theories are running wild, and people aren't seeing how good they have it. All they're thinking about is old hurts and half-forgotten stories. Yes, Starfleet is here, and the Jem'Hadar are on DS9, but if you listen to some people talk, it's the occupation all over again. Go see Rajen Revel at the Ha-Dura Temple. He's always had the pulse of the people, and he might have an idea of what to do. Okay, so this is one of those choice missions. So I'm going to accept this one. I'm going to opt the other one as well. There are a lot of people here who aren't happy about Starfleet establishing a base here and allowing the Klingon or the KDF to stay as well. Bajorians have always been touchy about outsiders, and the occupation and the Dominion War just made that worse. Now with Jem'Hadar in DS9 and you all here on the ground, those old fears are coming back to the surface. There's a protest by the fountain stirring up the crowd, a protester by the fountain stirring up the crowd, and we'll have a riot on our hands if we don't put a stop to it. Talk to him. Don't violate his right to free speech and assembly, but maybe you can convince him that Starfleet isn't the return of the Cardassians. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the religious one. Let's go talk to these Prylors, or whatever they're called. this side. Hey, brah. Talk to me, brah.
I follow the will of the prophets.
First, there has been a great deal of civil unrest here on Bajor. The loss of Deep Space Nine is reminding people of the dark days of the occupation and the Dominion War. And while most people were pleased when Bajor joined the Federation, there were others who believed that Bajor should remain independent. Having Starfleet and Klingon Empire officers building a base here now has stirred up a lot of dark feelings. The people are uneasy and afraid.
The people of this city need to remember that the prophets are watching over them, and that everything that has happened is all a part of their great plan. I've been going through some of our texts to try to find a way to explain the will of the prophets, but there are many books, and I must prepare my sermon for the next service. Perhaps you can think of something we can do to restore faith in the prophets. Please, use my books. You may find something in one of them that will soothe my people's troubled hearts.
Search Bajoran religious texts for ways to calm unrest in the city. Oh, jeez. I don't think I want to do this. Yeah, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go do the other one. Don and I should have accepted both missions. Unfortunately, a lot of these old missions are also really long. Jeez. Oh, darn it, I went down the wrong path. I wonder where that music is coming from. It sounds cool. You run down that hallway there. Or alleyway. And there. There's the unrest. We cannot stand for this. Bajorans for Bajor. Bajor for Bajorans. Hilarious. Talking to protester.
This is our home!
The Bajoran people will not stand for another hostile occupation. The Cardassians did enough damage to our world. We deserve peace, prosperity, and the right to govern ourselves. Starfleet doesn't want to occupy Bajor. So you say. Prove that you don't intend to occupy this planet. Bajor has a rich cultural heritage. The Bajoran government is stable. They don't need us to tell them what to do. We appreciate that you're still willing to share the city with us while we coordinate our campaign against the Jem'Hadar. I'm going to do that one.
This is our home!
Many Bajorans were displaced during the occupation. Thousands died in labor camps far from their homes. And even if you weren't forced into the camps, life was uncertain. Do you know that when Gul Pyrak commanded the weapons depot here during the occupation, he executed 15 farmers simply for not displaying the Cardassian banner outside their homes? We're already seeing this. Starfleet and KDF are taking over this section of the city. Soon, Bajorans will be pushed out of their businesses and homes and have to make room for more soldiers. There's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of reading going on here. This is a temporary arrangement Starfleet operations will move back to DS9 once the issue with the Jem'Hadar is settled. So you say, prove it. Oh, that's technically correct, but I think you're missing a big picture. Oh man, I messed it up. Okay, let's see. Let's do... Many of our facilities, including our 6-bay and holodeck, are available for any use by Bajorans. Bajor is a beautiful world. We have no wish to harm it. Let's do that one.
We will not be slaves!
The Cardassian occupation took everything from Bajor. Our resources were stripped away with no regard for allowing them to replenish for future generations. This planet is nothing but a shell of what it once was. Bajor may have lost some resources, but it's still an incredibly rich planet. Materials taken by the Cardassians were reinvested into Bajor through projects. Wow, I'm not going to say that one. Through projects like the construction of Deep Space Nine. With careful planning, we can prevent further damage to Bajor and then reverse some of the long-lasting effects of the occupation. How about that one? You may be right first. I never thought of it that way. Hey, I got one. Nice. Alright, let's do... we don't want to leave a mark on Bajor. When we leave, we'll leave the city as we found it. I'm going to do that one.
This is our home!
Bajor was scarred by the Cardassians who stripped away her bounty. But what was worse was their complete lack of consideration for the environment. Oh, for God's sake. The soil, the air, the water have been poisoned. Entire species in flora and fauna have been wiped out or irrevocably damaged. Now, pests with no natural predators were introduced. New pests with no natural predators were introduced, and now they're overwhelming native populations. Time heals all wounds. Give it another century. Yeah, no. We can work together to right many of these wrongs, but it will take time. It will take time, but anything is possible. Yeah, let's see that one. Never thought of it that way. Hey, sweet. Many of our facilities, including our sick bay and holodecks, are available for use by any Bajorans.
Bajor for Bajorans!
Land wasn't the only thing the Cardassians took from us. They treated us like animals. Thousands lost their lives in medical experiments, or were permanently injured through malnutrition and neglect. The Cardassians didn't care if we lived or died. The only thing that mattered was that healthy Bajorans could process more ore. Jeez. Our doctors have sworn an oath to do no harm in their practice. They will help anyone who wants to make use of their services. The medical facilities we have up here are for officers and soldiers in the attack on DS9. No, I don't want to do that. That will make them upset. There were some unfortunate incidents, but I think you're overlooking the fact that the Flortosi virus was cured by a... Oh, for God's sake. I'm going to do this one. Yay! Okay. Now let's do... Bajor has a rich cultural heritage.
Bajor for Bajorans!
The first thing the Cardassians did during the occupation was try to remove all sense of our cultural identity. When the Cardassians came, our artists and entertainers were forced to work as slaves. The rural way of life that had sustained us for countless generations was destroyed with our farmlands. Then, when the Dejara caste system was abolished, our society was left in a disaster. Artists became soldiers, and soldiers turned into farmers and bakers. We lost knowledge that had been handed down for generations, and the people were left to struggle through life as best they could. Dejara was an outdated system that made discrimination acceptable. Bajor is better off without it. I probably should say that. But, yeah, caste systems are dumb. Artists' desires can never be destroyed, only suppressed temporarily. Artists will find a way to create. There's now a thriving soil reclamation effort that will repair most of the... Well, let's try that one. Oh, I messed it up. Rats. Technically correct, but you're missing the big picture. Okay. Bajoran religion is a key cultural keystone. Yeah, let's see that.
We will not be slaves!
Prophets never abandoned Bajor, speak and they listen. I'm gonna do that one. Good. Bajoran government is stable. They don't need us to tell them what to do.
Bajor for Bajorans!
Cardassians were able to pit Bajoran against Bajoran by starving us and depriving us of our basic rights. Any small comfort they allowed us as a reward for being their puppets was treated like we'd won the lottery. Jeez. Neighbor turned against neighbor. Brothers reported on their families. In the end, many people were labeled as collaborators when all they tried to do was fill their children's empty bellies. Let me just do the top one. The Bajoran people were put into terrible positions. Some were forced to make difficult choices. There's no shame in that. That's not the right answer. Whatever. Bajor has a rich history, and its people have repeatedly fought for their rights.
We will not be slaves!
The Bajoran people have been fighting a war for so long that we no longer know how to live in peace. The Federation rules now. They may be kinder than the Cardassians, but they're still occupiers. Look at our history since the occupation. The Circle, the Konma, the Maquis, thousands of our young people joining Starfleet to fight the Dominion and the Empire. Our only art now is violence. Jeez. If you feel remorse for the violence in Bajor's past, then you have not changed as much as you think you have. Oh, that's actually probably the right answer. Freedom fighters of the past do not deserve to be called terrorists by you today. Bajoran people have become some of the fiercest fighters in the Alpha Quadrant. Your skill as warriors is commendable. I'll do the top one. Hey, it worked. Sweet. Alright, let's go talk to the guy who says he's got a mission for me. Where that music is coming from. I bet he's got another one. I just heard some of what you had to say to those protesters. Excellent work. I think people are starting to see things your way. Awesome. Yep. And another one. Petition the Prophets, or Soil Saver. We're still repairing the damage done to our environment by the decades of Cardassian occupation. We made a start on their work, then the Dominion War and the chaos that followed put everything on hold. The Federation has been helping us with the reclamation effort, but the work takes time and there's a lot of land to recover. There are several soil samples in the greenhouse awaiting analysis. If you have time, could you chop by and take a look? Maybe. Try the other one. Petition the Prophets. The Vedic Assembly has agreed to allow you to access the Orb of Prophecy and Change. This is a great honor, but it is also a great responsibility. Many people want to know why the Prophets didn't intervene to stop the Jem'Hadar from attacking Deep Space Nine. I know the Prophets would never abandon us. They must have a reason for why they didn't act. It's up to you to carry their message back to us. I'm going to do that one. I've played this one before, and this one is definitely the better mission. Talking to the orb. Why have the Prophets seen fit to return the Jem'Hadar fleet to this time and place?
You are not grateful. We saved Bajor at the Cisco's insistence. It cost him dearly.
We moved the fleet, but we needed to put it back.
A hand that remains closed
ceases to be a hand.
The fleet needs to exist, as you must return.
That worked.
thank you again for your part in saving the Ennis, the Noel Ennis, and of course, myself. I am glad the Prophet sent you to us, and I hope they continue to protect you in your travels.
I'm glad I could help. I should get the names of the actual players who show up while I'm playing on these social maps, so that I can like credit them or something like that. You should feel very blessed. The prophets don't speak to everyone. I have faith in their plan for Bajor. You are an important part of the plan. Great, thanks.
Peace and quiet. That's what we need.
Commander Achibi needs your help with communications. Report to her and she can give you the details. You got it. You can always tell which ones are real people because they're sprinting. Alright. Is there anything else that needs to be done?
I have new orders for you.
We've managed to set up a subspace relay outside in the courtyard. I'll need you to try to pick up any transmissions coming from DS9. We need intel. Anything that we can learn about the state of things on the station will help. You got it.
I have new orders for you.
I was wondering what this, what does this guy have to say? I'm sure she's just looking at the tree. It's a special tree. Scan subspace frequencies. Oop. Wait. Darn it. Accessing Davo with Lita. What do you want to proceed? Initiate communications.
Davo!
Okay. Let's change the bands to gigahertz. There we go. Accessing security office. Yes. Let's do the third one. It's terahertz. Will increase scan frequency. There we go. Accessing temple data network. Do you want to proceed? Yes. Temple services. Do you wish to speak to? Please remain on the line. Okay. Wait, that was all of them. What the heck? I wonder if there's other ones on different ones here. Accessing quarks. To access the quarks menu, press 1 now. There will be a surcharge for all charged or cancelled orders. A gratuity charge will be added to all orders. If you wish to speak to a waiter, please stay on the line. There will be a small convenience fee for access. If you wish to disconnect it now, a small penalty fee will be applied to your account. Stupid. That's funny. Private network. Stand by. Hey, who's this? And how did you find this channel? Wait, don't terminate the communication. I'm a friend. Oh, wait, I know you. Or I can use it from earlier. You were trying to help that Defiri ambassador get a holosuite apartment. I like your style. I'm Hadron, the bartender at Quarks. This is my alternate subspace communication channel. I use it for business matters, legitimate, legal business. Sometimes I don't want Kurland and company listening in on my dealings, but that doesn't make them any less legitimate. Can you tell me anything about the Jem'Hadar on the station? They're terrible for business. There's lots of them, they're mean, they don't eat or drink, and they brought Ketracel White with them. The Vorta with them has been in once or twice. Always orders Tula berries, never talks, and never pays. My profits are going down the drain. Hey, you're planning on coming back, right? Bringing the fleet back to kick these guys out? I need actual paying customers. I'll even give a discount on all drinks for the first hour after the station is reclaimed. Top shelf drinks excluded, of course. We're taking Deep Space Nine back, but we need your help. Oh, right. The Jem'Hadar Alpha's named Kara Khan. He's a real rough customer, the biggest and meanest of them all. He's got a Vorta with him. Her name is Loris. She's tough, but she hasn't gone out of her way to make our lives miserable. She's allowing those of us who didn't evacuate to stay, but only if we toe the line and don't give the Jem'Hadar any trouble. Honestly, how's a businessman supposed to operate, or make a living like this? The weird part is that they think the Dominion War is still going on. I heard Loris and Kurakan talking. They expected an entire Dominion fleet to be here waiting for them, and a changeling to be in charge. It's crazy. They've been hauling people in for questioning, and teams of Jem'Hadar have been tearing the station apart looking for this captive changeling. What happened to these guys? They get stuck in a black hole for 30 years? That's exactly what happened. Thanks for your help. We'll return as soon as possible, but you'll need to hold on for a little while longer. Perfect. Let's go talk to the quest giver. It's an interesting development. I'll keep in touch with Hadrian. Maybe he can get more information to us.
I have new orders for you.
I managed to contact someone on the station. The Dominion are looking for a founder, and they think the war is still going on. We'll need to clear up this confusion pronto. Maybe they'll be willing to leave the station peacefully if we convince them that the war has been over for decades. I think we're ready to contact DS9 and try to talk to the leaders of the fleet. I want you to be our contact. Captain Kurland will link in and assist you during the negotiation. Sounds good. Alright. I'm guessing we're going around to another office. Go to the Bajor office. Talk to... Oh, there we go. It's a screen. Perfect. Contact Deep Space Nine. Hail Deep Space Nine, but let me do the talking. I know you could handle this alone, but this is my station. It's my responsibility to try to get it back. Let's do it. Hailing Deep Space Nine on an encrypted channel. Putting it on screen now.
Who is this? What do you want?
Let's not be so hasty, Karukan. They obviously went to a great deal of trouble to contact us. I am Loris of the Dominion, temporary governor of Deep Space Nine. How can I help you?
Thank you for agreeing to talk, Loris. I am Captain James Kurland of the Federation Space Station Deep Space Nine. It is my hope that we can find a peaceful resolution to this conflict.
Of course, Captain. You want your station back. But this is a war, and your station is my prize.
I know this will be hard for you to accept, but there is no war. It's been over for decades. Your fleet was diverted when you attempted to pass through the wormhole. The Prophets... There is a great deal we have to explain, but please understand, we are not your enemies.
I am not a fool, Captain. We have reviewed the records in DS9's databanks. Why should I believe this fantasy of prophets? prophets and time travel. Show me proof that what you say is true.
Loris, I've asked First Yaktak of the DV Ferocity to join us today. First, could you please step in here? Our esteemed Vorta would like some proof to back up our position. I can show the video. Show the video. These are video records of what happened in the Dominion War after your fleet disappeared. I think reviewing them might be helpful. Show them the video.
The Dominion War continued after a combined Starfleet and Klingon force retook DS9. When the Romulans entered the war on our side, things began to turn. The Dominion recruited the Breen to their cause, but the disease that was attacking the Founders put them on the defensive. They ultimately retreated out of most of the Alpha Quadrant, creating a defense perimeter in Cardassian space. Soon after, a Cardassian official named Damar led a rebellion on Cardassia Prime, breaking the standoff. The Dominion was forced to surrender.
Do not try to deceive me. That cannot be what happened. Why should I believe these recordings are real?
I kind of think we should assuage Loris' feelings of doubt. Corroborate the record from other species involved in the war. Many other species were involved in the Dominion War. We can back up our story with their records of the war.
You say the Klingons are your enemies now, but you show me recordings made by one of their starships? I cannot accept this as proof.
Why the heck not? Seems that this seems to have left us at an impasse. Is there anything we can do to convince you to leave DS9 peacefully?
Enough! I will consider your arguments carefully, but you must understand that I am under orders as well. The Founders gave me specific instructions before I left the Gamma Quadrant. I accept that may have been many years ago. Nevertheless, mere time cannot countermand the commands of the gods. We are attempting to contact the Dominion in the Gamma Quadrant. As of yet, we have been unsuccessful. Until I speak to a Founder and receive new orders, we will remain here. Deep Space Nine belongs to the Dominion.
Thank you for all your assistance. Now that we know more about the current situation on DS9, we can decide how to best take a tactical advantage. There is only one end to this scenario. We retake DS9. There is no other acceptable alternative. True that. Oh, I got more words to choose. Okay, so that's the end of it. I will see you on the next one. Enjoy.